27 Club.
All right, gang, let's really nail it this time. Here we go. A 1, a 2, a 1, 2, 3, 4.
Been in this shit for some years, I ain't never left. Nigga try to save his life like he's scared of death. I got Hellstar on my body, bitch, I'm heaven sent. Hey, this U.P.K ain't nothing, we on fellowship. Been in this shit for some years, I ain't never left. Nigga try to save his life like he's scared of death. I got Hellstar on my body, bitch, I'm heaven sent. Hey, this U.P.K ain't nothing, we on fellowship. Florida Lee on my top, this a Saints hat. This the third can't be been in, he a J-Cat. Nigga tryna steal the sauce, yeah, I hate that. But I ain't make the rules, I can't change that. New bottle, new...
Shalom, Lord Christ. We finna get ready to slaughter these bulls. It's been a long time coming. We've been 7 years at this thing, raising these cattle up, feeding hay, all that nonsense, right? But today is the day. Today is the day that we looking to complete this mission that we started 7 years ago.
We ready?
We finna test the whole system.
We finna test it again?
Let me know when everybody ready.
Everybody ready?
Everybody's ready.
Go.
Now, hey, y'all gonna have to take off with it, not pulling it like this.
No, he's at the end running.
I'm running.
EJ, put your chain around. Put your chain around. Let me in there. We'll go there. Told you I was gonna get you there. What do need to happen is that punk ass boy, I can't wait to cut your throat.
Which one?
That bull.
Which one?
Him.
This?
Been in this shit for some years, I ain't never left. Nigga try to save his life like he's scared of death. I got Hellstar on my body, bitch, I'm heaven sent. Hey, this U.P.K ain't nothing, we on fellowship. Florida Lee on my top, this a Saints hat. This the third can't be been in, he a J-Cat. Nigga tryna steal the sauce, yeah, I hate that. But I ain't make the rules, I can't change that. New bottle, new wine, yeah, I can't crack. Look, flag on the play, they grabbing face masks. Niggas always saving hoes where your cape at. The only killer that you know without no face tag. Hell yeah, my bitch bad, Proverbs 31. Yeah, this is not a drill, I be 30'd up. Yeah, about to crack the sky, you better hurry up. It's all bad when you see us hang that jersey up. It's mad brick, I got the blick with my cover on. He a fed, he a op, got his cover blown. Look, I'm really outside without no scully on. It's one West, bitch, I'm on with my brothers on. He got ranked, then he left, he broke another oath. I got the plate, we about to take another zone. They was sleeping on the team, now they comatose. Left his brother out to dry, I guess he wanna fold. Put the oil.
Definitely a lot of work. You know what I'm saying? You just got to slaughter it.
He broke the penal code. Been in this shit for some years, I ain't never left. Nigga try to save his life like he's scared of death. I got Hellstar on my body, bitch, I'm heaven sent. Hey, this U.P.K ain't nothing, we on fellowship. Been in this shit for some years, I ain't never left. Nigga try to save his life like he's scared of death. I got Hellstar on my body, bitch, I'm heaven sent. Hey, this U.P.K ain't nothing, we on fellowship. Gotta watch these niggas, they be cointel. LeBron ain't never killed nobody, but I know he will. It's on me everywhere I go, yeah, that's the holy seal. My niggas itching when it's up, you better not touch a chair. Ooh, I'm with the extra, that's off the back. He ain't loyal to his brothers, how you follow that? She either working with her hands or she off her bag. Broke bitches, yeah, they better give me a heart attack.
We hope you're enjoying the video. We know you're enjoying the food. Kawada for coming and representing with us. Shout out to Commander General YAHANNA, man, for making all this possible. Shalom.
Shalom. Yahba Shem Yah Shabakatham to all the brothers. Shalom. Yahweh Shema Thabba Shem Yah Shah to all the sisters. I am priest and officer Abada Yah of 1000. Holding it down until General Mahayaman gets here, or high ranking officer, of course. This is the Monday night scripture breakdown class. Please have all your questions ready in the chat for General Mahayaman so he can answer them according to the Bible. Baba Kashal, Thawada, Yasharala, Israel. Yes. We need to understand that we are we are the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge, started at 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under Command and General YAHANNA. We teach that so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native men, women, and children are God's chosen people according to the Bible. Israel, Yasharala, we need to understand that we are God's chosen people, that we are the people of the book, of the living Bible. These are our records. We are the main this book holds our records. We are the ancestors. Reincarnation is real. Like, we are the protagonists. Esau, the devil that the Bible speaks of, the oppressor. He's the antagonist. He is the villain of the story. We are meant to be the heroes. We are meant to serve Abba, our Father, in righteousness. He wants us to obey him. He gave us the keys to success. He gave us the play-by-play. Fear God and keep his commandments. That's all we must do in these last days of time. Our King showed us the way. When he was walking the earth, he was the light. He was the light of the world. The light of the world. And the light of men was in him. Like, he was and now we can let our light shine by keeping these laws, statutes, commandments as well. And then they can glorify the Most High power by seeing us walk as we supposed to walk in these last days and times. We're going to start with let's get Deuteronomy chapter 7 and verse 6, Baba Kushal. Deuteronomy chapter 7 and verse 6. Christ, our King, he was perfect. He is perfect. And we strive to do the same thing he did. There's no excuses. No excuses, no cowards. We're warriors for the Most High power. Warriors for the Most High God. The Most High is a man of war. We need to fight our flesh. Fight our lust, our strong desires. We gotta fight the demons, Satan, when they come into our ear. They try to get us to go against the Lord. That's their job. Their job is to get us to commit sin and ultimately get us up out of here with down below, 6 feet under. Come on. So, but we are meant to be. We're meant to have that breath of life. We're meant to live in these laws, statutes, and commandments. That's our protection. But you can read Deuteronomy chapter 7 and verse 6. Baba Kishal.
It's the book of Deuteronomy chapter 7 verse 6. For thou art an holy people.
So it says, "For thou art an holy people." We are a holy people. We are set apart. We're different. We're not the same as everybody else. We are unique. We are separate. The Lord separated us from all the other nations on the planet of the earth. We are for him and him alone. That should put something in our chest. Like we are meant to rule. We are meant to rule. We're meant to take and conquer. In righteousness, of course. Right now, we're building Christ's kingdom. Right now, we're fishing our brothers and sisters back into the truth of the Most High power. We need every able-bodied Israelite on this side, on the right-hand side, We need to work as one unit. Zephaniah 2:1. Gather yourselves together. Yea, gather together, O nation not desired. There's nothing out there outside the I.S.U.P.K. All that's waiting for us is death and destruction, despair, the wicked one, the oppressor and his cronies, the other nations. They're traps to us. Everything they do is a trap to us. It's designed for us to fail. But if we obey the Lord, we succeed beyond expectations. Beyond expectations. Go ahead, Thamiyat.
Come unto the Lord thy God. The Lord thy God hath chosen thee to be a special people unto himself.
The Lord thy God have chosen us. He could have chosen anyone, but he chose us. He chose us. He didn't choose the oppressor, the East Indian, the African, Ishmael, the Arab, Japheth, the Samoans. He didn't choose any of them. He chose us. The creator of heaven and earth chose the blacks, the Latinos, the First Nation man, woman. Yes, we are the special breed. We are the special ones. We're the ones that everyone looks up to, or supposed to be looking up to. We are the standard, especially in the I.S.U.P.K. We're the standard on the face of the earth. Whatever we do, whatever is done here, is going to be done. It will be done, and Christ's going to make sure it gets done when he returns. Right now, we have to hold the line. Hold the line, hold our seat, or prepare it as much as possible so we can maintain it. Maintain crisis, occupy until Christ returns. Go ahead, Mathamiah, read.
Come. The Lord thy God hath chosen thee to be a special people unto himself.
See, the Lord thy God hath chosen thee to be a special people unto himself. Unto himself. Go ahead.
Come. Above all people that are upon the face of the earth.
See, we're not below everyone else. He meant for us to be above everybody. It's just so happened that when we disobey the Lord, that we have to get punished by Abba, our Father, and he's going to chastise us. And one of the penalties is that we're going to be the tail and the oppressor is going to be the head. So that's why we are on the bottom of society in these last days of time. But we are meant to be above. Adam was above everyone. He was in the Garden of Eden. Above everyone. He had the number one seat. And through his generations, when he came back on the earth, that same spirit that came back, when he eventually came back as Christ, he fulfilled that mission and got it done. He feared God and kept the commandments. Not only did he do that, not only did he keep the commandments, he raised up his brothers to keep them as well. He raised up his brothers to build up schools, to raise up the nation of Israel, so that in these last days of time, that we can come back to the Most High God. Christ exceeded expectations. He deserves to be King of Kings and Lord of Lords. He deserves his seat. What will we do to deserve ours in these last days of time? We got to make sure we stay on that straight and narrow path. We can't fall on the left hand or the right hand, that deep water or that fire. Come on, Yasharala. We know we want it. We want the glory. Come on. You can sense it. You can touch it. You can taste it. You can feel it. What's stopping us? What's stopping us? Oh, we could drop that thumb yard. Okay. Let's go to 2nd Ezra 6:54, Matham yard, when you get a chance. So we have a code of conduct to live by. We have a code of conduct. That's the laws, the statutes, the commandments. And when we follow these laws, statutes, and commandments, we get protected by the Most High God. Doesn't mean we're not going to get trials and tribulations, because we gotta see. The gold gotta get tried in the fire. We gotta see what we're made of to see if we're really going to stand with the Most High. Job got tried. Hey, Christ had to go. Christ went through what he had to go through. He had to check Peter. He had to check Satan every time Satan came on the scene when he was fasting. So we are going to get tried in these last days of time. But the Lord always there's always a way to it. The Lord makes a way for us to endure that temptation and gives us a way out if we lean on him and do what we have been trained to do. Tell me, you can read 2nd Ezra chapter 6 and verse 54. Baba Kashaw.
This is the book of 2nd Ezra, chapter 6, verse 54. And after these, Adam also.
And after these, Adam also. Go ahead.
Whom thou madest Lord of all thy creatures.
See, Adam, he was made Lord of all the Most High God's creatures, including the other nations. He was given everything. That breath of life was given to him. He was given the truth, the law, statutes, commandments. He was given it, rose him up from the dust of the ground, from that low state that he was in. Go ahead.
Of him come we all.
We all come from Adam through Noah because of the flood. All the nations come from Noah and his sons, Shem, Ham, and Japheth. Go ahead.
And the people also whom thou hast chosen.
But out of those three sons, out of Shem, there is a particular people that the Lord chose. And that is us. The one that everyone hates in these last days of time. It's the one that gets gunned down in the streets, that gets mishandled by ICE agents, the ones that are left on the reservations just to wither away. We are the ones that are chosen. It's just so happened that we have to face reality. We have to face the punishment that was set before the Most High God and change our ways. We got to break the cycle of sin. Once we do that, and we put on, like, we can either choose the yoke of the oppressor or Satan, which he doesn't give a damn about you. Or we can choose the yoke of our King. And his yoke is light, it's easy. It's not that hard. He's going to give rest to our souls. And one thing about our King, Yahushua Mashiach, the black Jesus Christ, is that if we do whatsoever he command us, he called us his friends and not his servants. His friends. That's how close we are to our King when we obey him. Remember, he's King of Kings, Lord of Lords. He calls us his friends. And remember how he treated us. He washed his disciples' feet. Like, our King, he showed how we supposed to, how how we're supposed to treat one another, even when we are in authority. He is different. So we gotta be on that top level. We gotta get back, and we gotta get back to our roots. We gotta get back to our roots. Get back to what the Lord has called us to be. That's the Alawapanya, bro. Yahaba Shemya Shabrakata. Oh, yes, sir. Kawakan. So we gotta get back to what the Lord wants us to be. He wants us to be the ones to rule the earth, but with kindness, with grace, with strength, of course, and with obedience to him and putting him first. We got to put the Lord first. Christ said it himself best: love the Most High God with all your heart, your mind, and your soul, and love your neighbor as you love yourself. We gotta remember that's what all the law falls on, hangs all the prophets. That's what this whole journey, our journey here on this earth has been about. Fear God and keep the commandments. We just got to get that through our thick skulls. We are stiff-necked people. We gotta change that about ourselves. We do. We gotta stop being stiff-necked. Come on now. We gotta humble ourselves. Take that pride away. You know? The Lord wants us to be obedient children to him. Focus. We got focus. Okay. And with that, I'm going to pass the class over to General Mahayaman.
No sign price. Get on.
Sign price.
See you in 7 token. Wafian. Let's get it on. Mi nombre es General Mahayaman. Estoy al servicio de el General YAHANNA. Gracias por sintonizarse con nosotros esta noche. Somos la Escuela Israelita de Conocimiento Práctico Universal. Comenzamos en 1 Oeste Calle 125, Harlem, Nueva York. Desde 1969, debajo del mando General YAHANNA. Carnales, esta es la verdad. Si tú eres hombre, español, negros o indio nativo, tú eres Israel, el pueblo elegido de Dios. Tu madre y tu padre dicen que somos un culto y mantienen su iglesia sin culpa, pero su iglesia es culpable de todo lo que nos están pasando. Órale. All right, let's get your questions answered. Haz preguntas. Estoy listo. I'm ready. Let's go.
Yes, sir. No questions.
No problem. All right. Let's get into what I got to get into tonight. You're going to get ready for the camps and your podcast this week. Let's go into Matthew 18 and 1. You can just interrupt me whenever you have a question, okay? And we'll go all the way down. Let me get something out for the brother while you're doing that. Go ahead. I got that letter for you, Wak, when you're ready. This is just something that goes with the regular. This is the letter you're looking for. This is the one that goes with the regular mail, all right? Solid. All right. Whenever you're ready, let me know.
Yes, sir.
Today, we're going to go more into children today, all right? we're going to go into children, on how to raise children, on how to treat children, and how to defend children. That is a very difficult thing to do in this evil world, because mostly everyone on the planet Earth has been taught how to be a parent from our padre, from the so-called white man, who's been a father to us because he is a lord over us, and he is a terrible father. The white man is an absolutely horrible father, yet and still he plays father to the entire planet Earth. Most nations on this earth have a paternal relationship with the so-called white man. He's the one that feeds us. He's the one that clothes us. He's the one that teaches us how to talk. He's the one that gives us our cultures. And sadly enough, he's the one that we get our morals from as well. All right. And so because of that, our families are terrible, because white people are terrible parents to the planet Earth. The Most High God rose up blacks and Hispanics to be good fathers, man, good mothers, to be the fathers and the mothers of every race on this planet Earth, so that we could be the ones that all other cultures look to for guidance, that all other people look to for morality, to be sustained and to be fed and clothed. They should look to us, because we be better parents than white people ever could be to all the nations of the planet Earth. Lo entiendes? All right. So now we're going to go into that, starting with Matthew 18. Whenever you have any questions, please interrupt me, and I'll just get to it later. All right.
Yes, sir. This is the book of Matthew, chapter 18 and verse 1. At the same time came the disciples unto Jesus, saying, who is the greatest in the kingdom of heaven?
Mm-hmm. Now remember, the disciples were just like you and I, in that they had given up so much to follow Jesus Christ. They had left their families, they had left their businesses, they had left their wives and left their children. And now they were following Jesus Christ. And so now they want to know when the kingdom gets here, because that's why we're in this. That's why we're making these kinds of sacrifices. When the kingdom gets here, who will be the greatest in the kingdom? Because they had great ambition to rule the world, just like you and I should. Everyone understands. So they want to know who will be the greatest in the kingdom of heaven. Go ahead.
Verse 2. And Jesus called a little child unto him.
Now, as he's saying this, imagine a social gathering while the disciples and Jesus Christ are out teaching and out healing the people and eating with the people and meeting the people. There were children running all around, just like at a UPK barbecue, or like the UPK 57th annual Passover that's coming up in Houston, Texas. There were children running around and playing. And at that moment, he called a little child over there to him. Go ahead.
And set him in the midst of them.
And he took this child and put him right in the midst of the 12 disciples. Go ahead.
Verse 3. And said, verily I say unto you, except ye be converted and become as little children, ye shall not enter into the kingdom of heaven.
While the disciples were very ambitious to see who will rule the kingdom of heaven, they wanted to know who would have the highest rank, who would be the top dog in the kingdom of heaven, who would rule at the highest level under Jesus Christ. What Jesus Christ was trying to let them understand is that if you're not converted as a little child, you're not even going to make it in the kingdom. You're not even going. So no need for you to worry about who will be the greatest in the kingdom of heaven. You're not even going to the kingdom unless you're converted the way a little child is converted. Gracias. The way a little child is converted. So now what does it mean to be converted, right? Shout out to Cuomo All. I saw Cuomo, give Cuomo All a hand. Captain out of Northern California, 1 West. I saw him battling these fake Israelites, man. Oh, he was trying to educate these young brothers out. He was trying to do the best he could to save their lives. Because what no religion understands, including fake Israelites, is that we're not in this simply to have knowledge to teach people. We're not in this simply to lord our information that we've learned over other people. We're not in this for the same reason Christians are, so they can walk around their job telling everyone they're saved and quoting John 3:16 and acting like they're better than everyone else that smokes weed and smokes cigarettes and leaves their husband at the slightest whim of unhappiness. Christians think they're better than everyone else, regardless of their conduct, because they go to church, because they believe in Jesus. That is not the point of being in the truth. The point of being in the truth is to be changed. That's the point of all of this. This is not about learning something simply to be a smart aleck. This is not about learning something so you can tell all your friends that you know things on Instagram, so you can make videos, or you can go to your family reunions and be the one with the knowledge. The point of this is to be converted, is to change. And if you're not changed, then you're not even making the kingdom. You cannot commit sin, or else you're not in the truth, because you have not been converted. You're the same as you always were. You're going to have to change, just like a child. Why? Because a child does what he sees. He does what you do. That's what a child does. He does what you do. That's the gift of being young, right? There's no wall that a child has of being, stuck in his ways or her ways. You go to teach your child hello. A child doesn't say, well, no, I don't want to say hello. I want to say what's up. That's how I want to do things, because I've been saying what's up. So I don't want to learn hello. You go to teach your child how to walk. A child never says, nah, I'm going to walk in a whole different way because I've been walking in a different way my whole life. Your child was just born. So whatever you do, they're going to do it. They're going to follow you. And please believe it, to come into the truth, you're going to have to follow someone else. That's how it works, like a child. Like a child, sígame, porque yo lo sigo a él. You're going to have to do it. You're going to have to follow someone, because that is what a child would do. And because a child follows, a child can be taught. A child can learn how to walk and talk and stand and speak and do everything that daddy and mommy do. That's how you'll have to be. You're not going to be someone who is stuck in their ways, who has a certain way of doing things, and you cannot be broken out of those habits. Then you can't make the kingdom of heaven. You're going to have to give up pork, though you've been eating it your entire life. You're going to have to give up shrimp, crab, and lobster, prostitution, being a prostitute, drugs, alcoholism. You're going to have to give up these things, although your oppressor pushes these things on you, and your oppressor does these things, although your mother and your father do these things, although everyone in your neighborhood does these things. You must be converted. And if you're not even making the kingdom. So what's the point of even discussing who's the greatest in the kingdom? Keep going.
Ye shall not enter into the kingdom of heaven.
You shall not enter the kingdom of heaven. You can't sin and be in the truth. You can't. Because then you haven't changed. Then you're not converted. Everyone understands. Right? That's the gift of being a child. A child just does what you do. If you wonder why so many of you have terrible children, it's because of you. That's all. It's a simple thing. It's because of you. And where'd you get it from? You got it from our oppressor. That's where you got being a criminal from our oppressor, who's a criminal, who's a thief. The president is a felon. Every white man here is a felon. I see white men always walking around with some type of cap and sunglasses sitting on top of the cap. They're everywhere. And I looked it up and I said, why do so many white men wear a cap and sunglasses on the cap? Now, my Alexa said it was because of they're truckers. And I don't believe any of that garbage. Alexa said, well, because they work outside. BS. I believe white men wear, that's enough, Alexa. I believe white men do that so they can beat cameras and facial recognition software so that they can have a disguise. Because that baseball cap, no sunglasses, look like this white man is always ready to just put those sunglasses down with that cap and have on a disguise so he can commit some heinous act everywhere he goes up and down the road being a truck driver. We can't be criminals just because white people are criminals. Just because the president is a criminal, we're going to have to be better people. And you can't be just like your mother. And you can't be just like your father. And you can't be like your cousins and your uncles and the people in your neighborhood. You must be converted, or else you're not making the kingdom of heaven. To be converted, you would have to change the way you are, change the thing you grew up in, change the lifestyle you've lived before, or else you can't make the kingdom. That's what a child can do. A child can learn. A child can start over because a child has just begun. You have to be the same way. Go ahead.
Yes, sir. Verse 4. Whosoever therefore shall humble himself as this little child, the same is greatest in the kingdom of heaven.
And that should be explaining it to you perfectly, because the same that shall humble himself as this little child, humble himself. What does that tell you? That tells you that the prime component in converting is humility. Humility is what you need to convert. And that should especially let you know what this is talking about. So then why don't people convert? Pride is why they don't convert. Pride is why fake Israelites who used to follow someone who puts dildos in his butt still decide to go start a new Israelite group instead of just coming home to One West, which is the father, el padre of every Israelite group that believes that Jesus is black and the 12 tribes of Israel are blacks and Hispanics, right? The tío of every Israelite group that believes that blacks and Hispanics are the 12 tribes of Israel. They don't come home to tío. Why? Because of pride. Pride. So now because of that, they find out their leader is putting dildos in his butt. They say, you know what? Let's try it again. Let's go ahead and start another Israelite group. Let's keep it going. Let's try it one more time. Also, we don't have to give tío what he deserves. That's pride, young brother. And that's how you got into this situation of following some man with a dildo in his butt. Now you'll do it again. Well, that same thing happens in the Christian church. You go to tell people in the world that they have to change what they eat. They're not doing that. Why? Because they've been eating that. Because that's what they like. Because not even God can break their routine. Not even God can curb their appetite. Nothing can, because they're proud. Well, if you're proud, then you can't be humble. And if you're not humble, you can't change. If you can't change, you can't convert. And you're nothing like these children. And you're going to die here in your set ways, in the way you like to do things, in how you are, and how you were raised. That's how you're going to die. Continue.
Yes, sir. Verse 5. And whoso shall receive one such little child in my name receiveth me.
Please, 1 second. And whosoever shall receive one such little child in my name receiveth me. So now if you want to be in the kingdom, you'll have to humble yourself and follow someone like a child. Now you eat what they tell you to eat. Now you go where they tell you to go. Now you talk and walk the way they do, right? It's very similar to what you did when you were a child, and that's how you ended up like your mother, like your father, like your cousins, like your uncles that were child molesters and drug addicts. You act like them. Well, if you want to make the kingdom, sígame. You follow us. That's what you do. And we'll teach you how to walk and talk and eat and marry all over again. We'll start fresh. And if you do it, then whosoever accepts you is going to accept Jesus Christ. If they accept you because they want to accept Jesus Christ. Everyone understands. So now the men that follow you are actually following Jesus Christ. The sisters that follow you are actually following Jesus Christ. Because whosoever accepts one of these little children in my name has accepted me. That's what Jesus Christ said. So now some sister who has changed her life, and she's not a whore anymore. She's not some slut that men disrespect because of her terrible reputation that she has in her neighborhood. She's not somebody that men don't regard because she has no self-respect because her mother made sure she didn't have self-respect. Now she's this sister who is regarded and valued. And now other sisters want her to be their mother figure. Oh, now we can do something with this family. Now you have a brother who at one time was just a menace, someone that ruined the Black and Hispanic community. someone who was terrible, some crackhead, alcoholic. Now he humbles himself like a child, and he acts the way his fathers act now. And they're not drunks. They're not alcoholics. They're not abusive. They're not selfish, greedy pigs who only care about satisfying their penis, their stomach, and their mouth. They're different. He behaves like them. He follows them. And now other brothers follow him. Now we can have a good family. Now we can raise children right. And that is the key to this entire thing. The key to everything we do in the UPK is to make you throw away who you were. Throw it away. And it is especially important when it comes to parenting. When you come into the UPK, please believe me when I tell you this, because you don't want to find out the other way. You're not allowed to raise your children the way you decide to raise them. That's not your right in here. You don't have any right to raise your children as you see fit in this school. Does everyone understand? No intend this. You don't have that right. I know out there in the world, in the church, well, the way I want to do with my kids, my grandmama beat me with an extension cord. So now I'm going to beat my kids like my daddy would get drunk, cry, put a gun to my head and tell me he should kill himself. So I'm going to get drunk, put a gun to my son's head and tell him that I'm going to kill myself. I'm going to do to my children what my father did to me. Why? Because that's how I was raised. You don't have any right in this school to raise your children as you see fit. Does everyone understand? I pray you do, because you'll find out the other way. You'll find out the other way. We're going to read about the other way in a second. Here's the great myth of life, is that you have some individuality or some freedom in every area of your life. You don't have any freedom when it comes to your children. You don't believe me? You give the white man the liberty, don't you? The minute your child goes to school and tells the truth about how they're being treated, then what happens? Someone from child services knocks on your door. You slam the door in their face, and what do you say? You ain't going to tell me how to raise my kids. Ain't no white man going to tell me what to do with my kids. Then they come back with the police and they take your kids out your home. And then you're sitting in there mad as hell because the white man had ears to listen to your child. I guess that's the white man's fault, because he has ears, right? So he has to hear about what your boyfriend is doing to these children. He has to hear how you talk to your child. He has to hear it. And then you give the child the lying tutorial that your mother gave you on how to lie to children's services. Don't tell anybody what happens in this house. Never tell anybody. They're going to destroy the family. So you teach your child to be a liar so that they can keep the family together, because of course lies are what stitch every family together. Isn't that right? Did you learn that? A good family, they stay together because everyone makes sure to lie. Lie to the police about what's happening to your mother. Lie to child services about what's happening to you. Lie to your father when you know your mother is cheating on him. These lies are what you need to keep the family together. You're a terrible parent, and you got it from the white man. If the white man has the right to come into your home and take the children when they see you're unfit, please don't be shocked when we exercise the same liberty, because we absolutely will in here. ¿Lo entiendes? Do you understand? We'll see. We'll find out, because you're not going to raise your children the way you were raised. That's not going to happen in here. You're going to raise your children the way we tell you to raise them. That's it. You're going to do it like that. You're a cold bastard and you never hug anybody. Why? Who knows why you never hug? You never can say, I love you. Who wants to give me the answer? Brother, give him the microphone so he can do it.
Come, sir, because they would never love that way.
Give him a hand. Latinos, most Latinos in the chat room, como se dice, give him a hand in Espanol, all right? Yes, you never hug, you never kiss your children, you never tell them I love you, ever. Why? Because, you know, my father never told me he loves me. My mother, I don't care what your mother and father did to you. You do not have the right to raise your children the way you want in here. You're going to tell them that you love them regardless of what you were told. You're going to hug your children. You're going to kiss them. You're going to pick them up. You're going to tell them that you're proud of them. You're going to encourage them to bring home good grades. You're going to be there for them at the events in the school that they expect parents to be at, though your mother and father never came to yours. That's what you're going to do. Who knows why? Because that is what we do to you. That's what we do to you. That's why we have Hebrew Academy ceremonies where Commanding General YAHANNA comes down and hugs 350 men, each one of them. That's why we give sisters flowers when they cook for the barbecues and put them online and praise a virtuous woman. You're going to treat your children the way we treat you, not the way your parents treated you. Sígame, porque yo lo sigo a él. Follow us because we follow Jesus Christ. So you're going to do what we do. And if you think you have a right to be different, you're in the wrong place. You should go leave this UPK, One West, the home of the truth, and the only people that are in the truth on the planet Earth. Leave us and go start a new Israelite group of I don't hug my kids, I don't love my kids, I beat my wife, and that'll last about a week. Like everyone else that I've kicked out of this school with such pleasure and such glee. That'll be you. And I'll forget you ever existed. You're going to raise your children the way we tell you to, all right? And if you don't, and if you harm these children, if you hurt these children, here's the next verse. Keep going.
Yes, sir. Verse 6. But whosoever shall offend one of these little ones.
But read that again.
But whoso shall offend one of these little ones.
You see, Jesus Christ is trying to make a parallel in a way that you can understand it. And if you weren't so broken inside, you would be able to understand this. Jesus Christ is making a parallel between children and people in the truth. Because to be in the truth, you have to humble yourself like a child to follow someone, like you have to follow us. To change your behavior. I mean, you just have no rights in here. You know that, right? You just don't have any rights at all. You want freedom of speech, you go out there to the white man and get freedom of speech. In here, you're getting whipped. Not figuratively, not literally, because that would be a crime. But you get no freedom of speech in here at all. You're not allowed to say what you want to say. You're not allowed to eat what you want to eat. You can't stand the fact that we tell you what woman you can have sex with. That is exactly what we're going to do. You're not allowed to have sex with whoever you want because she thinks you're cute. That is not this place. You have no freedom, no rights at all. None. Why? Because you took your freedom and you took your rights and you gave lordship over your life to a demon, to the white man. And instead of saying, well, I have freedom to not smoke weed. I have freedom to not get high. I have freedom to not beat my children to death and starve my children to death the way my mother did. Instead of using these freedoms to do good, you use all of your freedoms to continue the abuse of your parents. Your freedom is over when you come into the UPK. You don't have any more freedom to do anything. You're going to raise your children the way we tell you to do it. You're going to treat each other the way we tell you to treat each other. Then you are like that little child. And Jesus Christ is trying to compare someone that would humble themselves so greatly to a little child that is humble like that naturally. Well, can you imagine what a sane and good and decent person would do to someone that harms a child? Oh my God, you understand. If you've been to jail or prison, you will know what I mean. If you harm a child, you're getting stabbed in prison. The worst people in the world think you are beneath them when you harm a child. Someone who's, killed 3-4 people. If you harm a child, you're worse than him because you'd have to be the most terrible human being alive to harm a child, to not care about a child. Well, Jesus Christ thinks like that about each and every one of you who humble yourself like a child and come into this school. You would hate someone that harms a child. You would want to harm them. You would be desperate and cry at night so you could get your hands around someone's neck who harmed a child. Now, I want you to think about that and then think about your mother and how much she harmed you. and think about your father and how much he harmed you. That is, it's what people do to children is just goes outside of natural affection, of just natural love. It was a heavy video. Kazak Ahmad out of DC. Give Kazak Ahmad a hand. Kazak Ahmad this week was telling me he was breaking this video down to me, right? Kazak Ahmad. And Kazak Ahmad was telling me about a video where some woman did a test and she called famous mega churches and she pretended to be a woman who needed a baby formula because of the government shutdown. So many people are in lack of food. And so she had a baby crying in the background. And this was a white woman. And she just called mega churches. She called Charlie Kirk's organization. And she said, listen, the government is shut down. The food bank that I usually go to, they don't have any food. I need some help. My baby needs formula. Do you know she was turned down by 36 mega churches? Told this woman no. Told her, we don't have anything. We're not giving you anything. These people have, $54 million. Some preacher came up on my phone. He said, listen, by midnight tonight, we need to raise $50,000 in a day, in one day. And he did it in one day. This white woman calls Charlie Kirk's organization, countless other mega churches, and they said no to her. And this is what Kazak Ahmad told me, which was just so heavy, which is the difference between so many people and the Israelite school of UPK. If a white woman called me and she told me, I do not have any food for my child, I need baby formula, I would have given that white woman formula. I would have done it. I would have given her money to feed her child. I would have given her some formula. I would have went into our storage and storehouses of countless diapers that we have down there. Do you not have countless amounts of diapers? We just brought in 3 boxes of diapers in here tonight, right in this classroom tonight. Give me 1 box of diapers, please. I just brought it in tonight. Countless boxes, he got one right next to him. Countless boxes of diapers, which we store in this school all the time, day in and day out, to get people diapers, to have diapers for kids. We got basements and storage rooms and lockers all over the planet full of this. That's what we had. Full of these, full of canned goods, full of formula. If a white woman needed diapers, I would have given them to her. If there was a skinny cat in front of the school who was skinny, I would give the cat some food. If there was a dog that whined and begged, I would feed a homeless dog, a cat, and I absolutely would feed a white woman who had a hungry baby. And Kazak Ahmad was trying to understand what is in a Christian church where you would not give this person a bottle of formula. It's something broken in Christians that is so deeply broken, so psychologically bent, that they harm children without conscience. And I couldn't do it. I couldn't say no to a little white baby who was crying, who needed formula. I'd have to help the baby like I'd help a dog who needed food, or a cat that wanted a crumb of bread or a crumb of meat to survive. You wouldn't help this baby? You should not be in charge because you don't care about children. Now, that's who trained you. That's why you abuse your kids. That's why you don't hug them. That's why you talk to them the way you talk to them. That's why you do that. You see them crying. Even your children's, the look of, being adorable doesn't stop you from saying, you no good nigger, you ain't shit. I don't care about you. You look like your daddy. Even the fact that the child is small doesn't cause any compassion to come into your heart. Well, you are a person that harms children. You keep going.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Slakia. But whoso shall offend one of these little ones which believe in me.
Which what?
Which believe in me.
Which what?
Which believe in me.
So now to come and follow Jesus Christ, you have to become a child. So then can you imagine someone harming you the way this world harms children, the way your parents harmed you and your uncles and your aunts harmed you and the people in your neighborhood and your cousins harmed you? Can you imagine someone harming the children of Christ, which we are? We're the people that decided to be little kids again, decided to learn how to dress all over again, learn how to talk all over again. If anyone harms one of these little children who follow me, keep going.
It were better for him that a millstone were hanged about his neck, and that he were drowned in the depth of the sea.
That's better. Because you should understand that, because that is exactly what any sane person wants to do to a child molester. They want to kill child molesters. It's a hunger to kill child molesters, which you should never do. You should never do that, but you should work to the point that you could sit in judgment over this world. Then you will decide what happens to sinners. That day can come. And in that day, well, then you'll make the judgment then. All right. But there's a desire to harm people that harm children. And the Lord said, if you harm one of my children, then it's better that someone takes a millstone, ties it around your neck. A millstone is a thing pulled by a donkey. It's a giant stone that only a beast of burden could walk in a circle and pull it, right? It's big as this table, way heavier, maybe 1,000 pounds, 800 pounds. Well, it's better that some 800-pound stone be tied around your neck and you thrown in the river. That's better than what's going to happen to you if you harm one of God's children. Everyone understands?
Yes, sir.
All right, clap it up. Most high Christ. Okay, so let's remember, you've been warned. Give me that in Spanish too. You've been warned, all right? Give me the other one I asked for in Espanol. What do you have?
Yes, sir. From Ashkawar, del Apozo.
Can I get a pen? If anyone has one, please. What's del what?
Del un aplauso.
You can spell it for me 1 second. Gracias. And this is which one I asked for? Say it one more time.
One you asked about the applause.
Oh, give him a hand. Applause. Okay, say it again.
Del un aplauso.
Del.
Yes, D-A-L-E.
D-A-L-E. D-A-L-E. Dal.
U-N, space U-N. Un. Applauso, A-P-L-A-U-S-O.
A-P-L-A-U. S-O. Del un applauso. Del un applauso. Please tell me if I'm mispronouncing that. I'm sure I am. All right. That means give him a hand or applaud. Okay.
Good, sir. We have some questions.
Please, I'm ready.
Headquarters got a question, sir. They online as well.
Give it up, headquarters. Good to see you, Akim.
Shalom, everyone.
Culpa otra vez, please. Gracias. Go ahead.
Can I be heard, sir?
I'm ready to rock, headquarters. Good to hear from you. What can I do for you?
Same, one. If I may, Baba Kashar, sir, on the subject of repenting and changing, how can the worst of our people, I'll use an example of a gang member from the tribe of Levi in Haiti, who've done terrible things for our oppressors. Terrible things, kidnapping, all the terrible things that I've shown you on the phone, sir. I can't even show online.
Yeah.
How can member of a gang repent their lives? If they put down the gun, they know that they're going to be arrested and unalive. How can
if they put down the gun, they're going to be arrested and unalived?
When the only option that they have, if they stop, is to be unalived.
Okay, so in this scenario, if he decides to discontinue committing acts of violence, he will be unalived. Is there no way that he could stop committing acts of violence and live?
Well, at this point, they've gone so far that they are famous. Everybody knows them, and people are now looking for them. And a member is sincerely trying to repent, but they are in this crossroad where people will come after them. But they no longer want to proceed to work for the oppressor. They realize, you know what? I've done all of these things to my people. I didn't know no better. But now that I want to change.
He did it for his people. So were these things in some way positive in his culture, or were they actually negative for his people?
No, what I'm saying is that when he realized he's done all of those negative things to his people, that's what gives him the conscience to say, you know what, I have done all of these terrible things to my people for the oppressor. And now I'm going to stop. But how do I stop? Everybody knows me, and they will come for me to unalive.
I got you. Okay, in Espanol, first I would say, esa no es la forma correcta de pensar. You tell me how to say that in a patois, in Creole. First of all, he's thinking the wrong way. How would you say that in Haitian Creole?
Wap mal pensé.
Wap mal, say again?
Wap mal pensé.
Say that last word. See. Okay, that's his first problem, Mark. He's thinking the wrong way. His thinking is incorrect, which is the origin usually of every terrible deed. The premise that he's built up in his mind is not correct. Here's the first problem. He is not the worst of his people. And that is a giant problem. You know what? If you're a gang member and you've unalived people and you grew up in absolute utter poverty, and in your poverty you joined a gang and you hurt some people that you believe were going to hurt you, and you've committed crimes, you think you're worse than the politician who is starving your community. You think you're worse than him. When that politician that starves the tribe of Levi, that starves the Haitian, that puts his own people in a position where for rice, they're going to have to become prostitutes. The prostitute considers herself the worst Haitian on the island because she sells her body. But the politician that is stealing the aid and the resources from the entire island, they're considered to be businessmen. They're considered to be politicians. A drug dealer, a gang banger, a murderer is not the worst of us. They're not. A prostitute, a whore, a drug addict, a drug dealer, you are not the worst. Not at all. And thinking like that is what makes it so hard to change. Because you think, I'm too far gone. I'm the worst. While that politician is going to steal every dollar that is supposed to be dispersed to the Haitian people, every penny. And he's going to buy jets and Rolls Royces, and he's going to vacation in Brittany, in France. He's going to vacation there, and no one will ever consider him to be a villain when he is the worst of us. You understand, Levi?
Absolutely, sir.
So you want to think first, I'm not the worst of us. This politician is. You know how many people I counsel, and this is a phenomenon that I am recently studying, and I'm going to get to the bottom of this phenomenon if I could elaborate. I talked to some child today, right? And the child went home and he saw rich white people at school. And because he sees rich white people at school, he begins to harm himself, to hurt us. This is a little boy, to hurt himself. And when they asked him, why are you hurting himself? He said, because I see these white people and they have so much money and my family doesn't have anything. We're poor. And so he hates himself. There's another thing I've been studying with the police brutality and the cases of ICE agents abusing our brothers and sisters. And so many people who get abused by ICE agents say, they beat me like I was nothing. They beat me and they hurt me like I was garbage. And this is what I want to study until I understand it. Why does the abuse that someone else gives you make you think that you are nothing instead of believing that they are nothing? When a cop beats you, why do you say, he beat me like I was nothing, instead of that cop beat me like he was nothing, like he was a piece of garbage, because only someone that is nothing could have beat me like that. Según Dios, según no son nada. Según Dios, no son nada. God said that they are nothing. But if they beat you, you'll go, he beat me like I was nothing. You see rich white people at your school, and you go home and hate yourself. Why don't you hate the rich white people? Why don't you see rich white people with all this money and go, these bastards? I'm going home surviving with my mother and father that love me, and we coming together the best we can, and these devils get to have all of this. Why don't you hate rich white people? Instead, you hate yourself. This I would love to understand. I would love to understand. I'm going to ask Commander General YAHANNA about it. He'll tell me, because I would love to understand what is that, because I know we don't have it in the UPK. In the UPK, something bad happens to us from a white man, we hate the white man. You understand? Right. The cops abuse us. We hate the cops. We hate the ICE agents. But people in the world, when they get abused, they internalize it. He beat me like I was garbage. He beat me like I was nothing. Rich people, white people got so much money. We ain't nothing but niggas and spicks. We ain't nothing because they got everything. In the UPK, we don't do that. And I would love to harness it and understand why. And why do they? Because that's what happens. You're a gang member in Haiti, struggling and starving. And so then you join a gang to survive, to eat food. And you begin to say, I'm the worst. I'm the worst. Not the politicians, not the people that work with the Nigerians and work with America to make your island poor. No, they're not the worst, but I'm the worst. You're going to start with that out. He's not the worst. He is not unredeemable. He's not. And then after that, it's really just a matter of expanding your imagination to how you can escape this sin. Because once you unlock it, before you know it, you'll go, wait a minute, I could do this and do that. And if I did this and did that and do this, then I could stop hurting people. But it's like you have to unlock your imagination. And Levi, I know it's true, because even in a land like America with so many opportunities, Tribe of Judah, what have you heard said 1,000 times? I gotta sell drugs. I have to feed my daughter. I don't have a choice. Levi, the Tribe of Judah, the so-called Negro in America, think the exact same thing in America. In America, they think, how am I going to stop? There's no way to stop. I have to do this. I can, because if I don't, I can't leave that violent life. I can't stop selling drugs. I have to do it. Esa no es la forma correcta de pensar. Esa no es la forma correcta de pensar. You're just not thinking correctly, huh? That's all. That's all. You want to start with that. And then from there out, he gets some counsel. He gets some counsel from you. You get some counsel from the men above you. Before you know it, man, we start moving the chess pieces around the board to save his life. That's all, Levi. You understand? Sin problema. No problem. No sweat. Is there anything else?
Yes, sir. We got a correct pronunciation of the first word, sir.
Go ahead. Say dale. I should have known that. Dale. Dale un aplauso. Dale un aplauso. Gracias. All right. Go ahead.
Yes, sir. This is from a car. Shalom, Most High in Christ. Can I get a general breakdown on what Christ is saying in John chapter 3, verse 8?
Go ahead.
This is the book of John, chapter 3, and verse 8. The wind bloweth where it listeth, and thou hearest the sound thereof,
Mm-hmm.
but canst not tell where it cometh.
Let me give you some context, brother. This is Jesus Christ trying to explain being born again to a people that are not spiritual. He's talking to Christian leaders, or what they were called at that time, the Sadducee and Pharisee. One of them was trying to come to Jesus Christ to learn. His name was Nicodemus. And Jesus Christ was trying to explain being born again to him. And the brother just couldn't understand that. He said, how in the hell can somebody be born again after you've already come out of your mother's womb? You can't get back in your mother's womb. How in the hell can you be born again? He was a religious leader, so that means his whole life was just what he could eat and take. So he could not understand language that was spiritual, that was descriptive but not literal, but describing the process spiritually. Jesus Christ called it being born again because to do it, you must be a little child. You're going to have to do it like that. You'll have to start over. So Jesus Christ called it being born again. You ever wonder why they call us a cult, which we relish in and like and make t-shirts about it and call ourselves a cult leader? They call us a cult because our change is so extreme that we don't act like other people act. When you could join 1,000 denominations of Christians, they all celebrate Christmas. I saw the weak-ass Democrats went and caved into the Republicans and went and signed some bill so that they could end the government shutdown because the airports are crowded. Let them be crowded. Let them cancel Christmas. Now no one can get on a plane and go see their grandmother. So what? Who gives a damn? The pumpkins are 25 cents. You had to open up the government. There's pumpkins that are 25 cents. Levi, I know you got some pumpkin recipes. Levites eat a ton of that pumpkin. And the West Indians eat that pumpkin. I've been thinking about these oxtails and pumpkins and jack-o'-lantern I made all day. I made them, and I cannot wait to get out of Command and General YAHANNA's show. It's been on my mind. Well, I'm just planning on eating this jack-o'-lantern and oxtail stew that I made last night. And brother, when I get out of here, I've eaten nothing, so I could just have that jack-o'-lantern and oxtail stew. You had to open up the government. You couldn't have stuck to it for a few minutes more. You all act the same. None of you have any courage at all. So they think we're strange because we don't do what everyone does. Well, that's the point, right? We're not supposed to do what everyone does. You got to be born again. You have to start over. You got to be completely different to everyone else. While no Christian religion is different, no Muslim sect is different. All of them eat pork, including the Muslims. You're from Philly, so you know what I'm talking about. All of them sell drugs, including the Muslims and Christians. All of them celebrate Christmas, including the Muslims. All of them do it. But we're in a cult because we're different. That's it. Why? Because we are born again. We've started over. We're little children. We're born again. Well, Jesus Christ is trying to explain this to this religious man, and he doesn't get it. So then Jesus Christ begins to explain why he doesn't get it. And that's what we're reading right now. Okay, read it. Now start from the top.
Okay. This is the book of John, 3 and verse 8. The wind bloweth where it listeth.
The wind blows where it listeth. The word listeth means wherever it goes. The wind blows. Which way is the wind going to blow? I don't know, but I feel it. Do you understand? I don't know. I can't decide. I can't say, well, the wind is about to blow east. The wind is about to blow west. I don't know which way the wind is blowing, but I will know it when it hits my skin. I'll know it when I feel it. The wind bloweth where it wants to blow. Do you understand? Keep going.
And thou hearest the sound thereof.
And then I hear the wind blowing. That's how I know which way it's blowing. But I don't know. The wind will blow whichever way it wants to blow. But I'll hear the sound in my ear. And then I'll know which way the wind is blowing. Continue.
But can not tell whence it cometh.
But you cannot tell from whence it comes. You don't know where this wind came from. You don't know if it came, where this wind that I'm feeling and hearing came from, but I know it's in my ear. I know that. Continue.
And whither it goeth.
And this same wind that I hear in my ear, I don't know where it's going after it leaves me. I don't know. Continue.
So is everyone that is born of the Spirit.
That's what it means to be born of the Spirit. That. It's something that I don't know where it comes from, but I know I hear it. And I don't know where it's going after it leaves me, but I know it's going somewhere. That is what we are to them. They don't understand us. Do you understand? We're like wind. Where'd the wind come from? I don't know. Where is it going? I don't know. But they hear us. They hear what we're saying, but they don't understand us. We're like wind. We're like wind that's coming from somewhere. They don't know where it's coming from. They don't know where it's going, but they hear us. They hear us on podcasts. They hear Captain Tazaryak. They hear Commanding General Yahanna most of all. They hear Kazak Ahmad. They hear Barack out of D.C. They hear Faba One. They hear the Gadiah One. They hear so many brothers on the internet. Faba One out there in California. Gadal Har, Kwamwa All. They hear so many of you. They hear you. But they don't understand where you're coming from. They don't get it. That's what we are, because we're born of the Spirit. They're born of their mother's vagina. That's who they are. All they are is flesh and blood. They're nothing else. All they are is some person that came from a penis out of a vagina, and they just grew up wanting and desiring and wanting and wanting and taking. That's it. They're flesh and blood and nothing more, while we are much more. Much more. Everyone understands. That's your breakdown now. Good to go?
Yes, sir.
Headquarters, was that you or was that someone else?
That was me, sir.
That was you, Salaki. Go ahead.
Okay. The next question, sir, is this is from I.S.U.P.K. Saint Croix, USVI.
Go ahead, Warrior.
Shalom, Adawan, Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shabrakta. Salakia, can I get an understanding of how the earth was repopulated when only 8 people survived the flood?
No problem, Mark. With a lot of sex. Have you heard of that? You can do plenty of that. I'll tell you about that one day. You can do a ton of it. A nation of it. Ask your grandma how many kids one woman would have back in the day. Who wants to give me a number they've heard? Sister, the microphone. 21. One woman? One man. Your parent. 21 kids. Your sister, go ahead.
13 or 14.
13. How many? What's the most amount of children you've heard one woman have? 17. Your grandmother. I've heard 14. My grandmother told me about 14 kids. One woman. 14 kids. 17 kids. 21. That is one woman. Oh, we can get it done. No problem. We'll do it. I'm ready. Anytime the Lord wants. I'll go ahead and set this whole thing right with everybody looking just like me, hating it every day. This whole earth will look like me. Anything else? Go ahead. No problem. Preguntas. Próximo. Solid, no problem. What else did I have to do? Hold on. Stand by. If you have any questions, just tell the brother. 1 second. Hold on. Let me read this real fast. Stand by. Stand by. Captain DeBar Mathar did tell him to give me a call after the class. All right. I don't understand this text he just sent me. Captain DeBar out of Milwaukee. Give me a text. Call me after the class. All right. If it's not an emergency, call me after class. All right. Where are we at now?
There was no question online.
Okay. Hold on. Stand by. Let me get the other precept I had to bring out for you tonight. Jesus. Now I'm getting text messages that I shouldn't have said I was going to repopulate the earth. Okay, listen, mind your damn business. I can't even teach a class. I'm being ruled by tyranny. I'm under tyrants now. It's a tyranny I'm being ruled by, and it has to stop. I would like freedom of some kind. I'm being ruled by tyrants. Of course, I will not have sex with everyone and repopulate the earth. Okay? I will not do that. It's just hyperbole to try to explain how 8 people could repopulate the earth. Okay? The water. I appreciate you now. All right, let's move on. Go ahead,
If I may, sir, I would like to know if you could break down the history of Amalek during the time when Roman occupied Jerusalem. Was Amalek?
You said Amalek?
Sir.
Break down the history of Amalek when?
During the time when the Romans occupied Jerusalem.
During the history of Amalek, during the time that the Romans, I might have to ask Commanding General YAHANNA that. I don't recall that. General Hazayan would be another expert about that, and especially Commanding General YAHANNA. Wait, hold up. When the Romans occupied Jerusalem, like the Josephus? Oh, no, that's our history. You want to know about what Amalek was doing.
Right. Basically, if they weren't separated from their people, that they always felt like they were the superior white people.
Yeah, I don't remember that, but I've heard Commanding General YAHANNA, to my memory, and General Hazayan break that down about how they converted. Like they begin to just convert to our belief system, but I don't remember when it started. I don't remember if it happened during the Romans, because the Roman time is like antiquity. That's what Roman time is called. It's almost prehistoric. It's so long ago. It's before, the Dark Ages. It's before even the myth about King Arthur and all that with the Anglo-Saxons. It's so long ago, the Roman times are. But I've heard Commanding General YAHANNA and Hazayan break it down about when Amalek converted. There was a specific time in history they converted, but I don't believe it was during the Roman occupation of Israel. I don't believe it was during that time. I believe it was after that time, but I just can't recall. You understand? Go ahead.
If I recall correctly, Captain Balthazar broke it down. I believe he was in the 7th century.
He's another one that would know. Captain Balthazar also would know. I can't verify it for you if that's what you're asking me. I just don't remember. My apologies. I just don't remember it. All right. But I believe Captain Balthazar, General Hazayan, and of course Commanding General YAHANNA, they are who I remember breaking it down. I just can't recall a lot. Lo siento, all right? No problem. Go ahead. Where are we at now? Go ahead.
So there's no questions online.
Okay, let me get the other precept I was asking about. Jesus. Let's go to Ezekiel then. You gotta let me know about upstairs as well, all right, in the next 10 minutes or so.
Yes, sir.
Oh man, this is a good one. Hold on. Ezekiel 16 and 36. This is a good one. Hold on. Stand by. All right, this is all good, but I'm going to skip down to Ezekiel 16 and 36.
Yes, sir.
Let's start at 33. Go ahead.
Okay.
If there's a question, please interrupt, all right?
Yes, sir. A question just popped up.
Okay, go ahead.
This is from Keisha Marie. Salaki, sir, is it possible in Genesis chapter 9 and verse 18 when Ham walks into the tent and sees his father's nakedness, is it possible the nakedness he's speaking of is his wife, like as in Leviticus chapter 18, verse 22, as speaking the nakedness?
No, that's not possible, because they went into the tent and it says that he went in, that Shem and Japheth walked in backwards with a blanket to cover their father. So that nakedness is not saying his wife was in the bed naked. It's him, and he was drunk. It's not saying his wife was drunk, because of course, if she was laying there naked when somebody walks in the room, that would mean she's drunk, right? But Ham, I mean, what's his name? Noah was drunk. And like your uncle, he got naked when he was drunk. Have you ever heard of pissy drunk? Is that something that's foreign to you? When you get so damn drunk that you piss all over yourself and you still don't know you got a problem. Boy, but that's just stunning. The alcoholics I've talked to, the fool pisses on himself. And you say, do you have a drinking problem? No, I wouldn't say that. You say, what? You pissed on yourself. Yeah, you know, I couldn't get, you should hear them explain it. They explain it like, you know, that's just a reasonable mistake to make. You know, like, I couldn't, what? Who said that? Who poured all this piss on me? I don't know who is pouring all this piss all over me. Somebody playing a joke on me. No, they're not, huh? No, they're not. You pissed on yourself. Yeah, when you get drunk, that's when you get naked. If the wife was naked, that would mean she was drunk. Otherwise, she would see these two Negroes walking in the room. He was drunk. They covered him, not his wife. All right? This had nothing to do with his wife. Go ahead.
Yes, sir. This is the book of Ezekiel, chapter 16. You said start at verse 36, sir? Mm-hmm. Okay. This is the book of Ezekiel, chapter 16 and verse 36. Thus saith the Lord God, because thy filthiness was poured out.
Let's start at 30. I think 33. I changed my mind.
Oh, 33. Okay.
Go ahead.
Verse 33. They give gifts to all whores, but thou givest thy gifts to all thy lovers.
This is the strange thing about the nation of Israel, blacks and Hispanics. A whore gets paid. Right. But instead of paying the whore is paying you. It's just a strange thing. Read it one more time.
They give gifts to all whores.
So that's what you got to pay a whore to have sex with her. That's the gift, right? Keep going.
But thou givest thy gifts to all thy lovers.
But you give gifts to all your lovers. So you got these people who you love, and you're paying them because you love them. But they give gifts to all whores. You give gifts to all of these lovers that you love so much. Who are the people you love? The Democrats, the Republicans, the Baptists, the Episcopalians, the African Methodists, the Holy Ghost Church. What's the big one everybody goes to now? I think it's that Holiness Church. I don't know which one everybody. It used to be the African Methodists. That was back in the 60s. I think they fell off. Whatever the church is that dances like a goddamn Soul Train show, that's the one that everybody loves now. Even that Geno Jennings, he's a big dancer. Have you seen him? Woo, boy, he cuts the rug in that church up. Geno Jennings. Whatever the church is that does all the dancing, that's the one that blacks and Latino Protestants have decided to gravitate into. The gay preachers, you love those. You love any church with a gay choir and a gay preacher. Well, you're paying them. You're paying them. You're paying these reverends. You're paying the so-called white man. You're paying all of the heathen races that profit off of destroying you. You're paying them. Everyone understands. Go ahead.
And hires them.
And you hire them. Keep going.
That they may come unto thee on every side for thy whoredom.
And you hire them that they'll come unto you on every side for your whoredom. So you have so many lovers that you pay. They take every penny you have. Let me tell you something. If they would have kept the government shutdown going on for years, black people could have been just fine. We could have been perfect. There was no reason for us to miss a meal at all. Not in this race. Not in this nation. You can't be starving and suffering from obesity at the same goddamn time. Both can't be true. Now, if we got an obesity problem, clearly we could handle missing a goddamn meal. Clearly, right? So why in the hell did everybody get so afraid and terrified of the food stamps getting cut off? For what? We can't band together? We don't have food? Jack-o'-lanterns are 25 cents. You want 8 jack-o'-lanterns? Take $2 down there and get 8 jack-o'-lanterns and make jack-o'-lantern oxtail soup for 2 weeks. I cut up 10% of my jack-o'-lantern budget, which was $2. 10% of it, ate some of it. The rest is waiting on me when I get the hell out of here. We would have been fine. We would have been okay. Right. But you got so terrified. Why? Because all you know how to do is pay some whore. You pay America. You pay these farmers in Nebraska. You pay everyone. You don't know how to exist if you can't give your money to some slut. Good. Sluts being America, Donald Trump, the Democrats, the Republicans, the farmers. You got to pay somebody. You couldn't just keep your damn money, and we survive on togetherness. Yo te apoyo y tú apoyas. You support me, I support you, you support me. We could have just did it. Why not? Well, how in the hell do you expect to overcome anything if you can't come together and protest and step out of society the way any good labor union has to do when they go on strike? The labor unions do it. Right. Without the labor unions going on strike, you'd be working 7 days a goddamn week. The whole reason there's a 5-day work week is because somebody said, I'm not going to work. I'm not getting a paycheck. And that's the reason that you get overtime. That's why overtime exists. Because somebody didn't go to work. Somebody didn't get a paycheck. The labor unions invented the 5-day work week. They invented overtime. They invented a woman being able to take off to have a child. They invented that. They didn't invent it from going to work. They invented it from not going to work. Right. Not going to work is how you get a 5-day week instead of a 7-day week. It's how you got overtime, and it's how you got enough money to go have a baby. Now, here you are, you're crying for the government to open back up. Shut it down. Let the airports become a hellhole. Let the airports become a volcano of hell. Let it happen. Let everything shut down, and you and I are going to eat jack-o'-lantern until we gain weight. We're going to gain weight on jack-o'-lantern while the government shuts down. And then before you know it, when it finally opens back up, man, you're going to have your enemy right where you want him, in need of you. But of course, that didn't happen because your leaders are punks. They have no huevos. They got them. They don't have any huevos at all. Everybody understands that. Solamente huevos dan órdenes. Solamente huevos dan órdenes. The problem is you can't rule without courage. You can't lead the people without courage. And your leaders in America who you choose have no courage. The leaders that God chooses in this UPK, they have all the courage in the world. And because of that, we can lead. And we can feed you. We can feed you. We can give you diapers. We can take care of every Black and Hispanic. And we can take care of a humble white person too. We can do that in here. You white people out here, you support the UPK because we'll take better care of you than your government ever would. Anything else? Keep going. All right, let's it's time to go. With that, pass the class over to Priest Officer Mathumya. Here's your pen out. My apologies. You got it, warrior.
How about
I.S.U.P.K. I.S.U.P.K. security announcements. But I.S.U.P.K. started 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under command of YAHANNA, group for new brother and sister. When a new brother or sister comes into the school, they're off limits for 6 months. They are to be saluted only. They're here to shed themselves to the world. If they need transportation, the teacher will arrange it. After 6 months, if a brother or sister has an interest in a particular person, he or she must get permission from the head to speak to a brother or sister. There's another 6 months in which the brother and sister will court each other. After this 6 month, after this 6 month period, the brother and sister will get permission from the head to marry. Ties, which is a commandment, you find in Numbers 18:21, Malachi chapter 3, verses 8 through 10. It means a tenth in the Hebrew, Ma'asharah, 10% of every penny of any increase the Lord gives you. Give to the treasury department. Priest fund, free will offering for priests, not mandatory. Whatsoever amount of life, upcoming holy convocations is the feast of dedication, and it's the 25th day of the 9th month by the space of 8 days. It lands on a Sunday, the 14th of December. All right, and you can find this in Maccabees, First Maccabees, chapter 4, verses 52 through 61. Remind occupant Aquathi to check the bulletin board in the hallway. If any brother wants to be a trooper in the school to start wearing all black, blue shirt, pants, headband, scarf with that man of Israelite module, which means to stand. The young brother, it's like we're gonna stand up, we're gonna get to school. All right, man of Israel, I'm out Shabbat. I'm out. Barak, Yahweh, now the Matah, Sar, sisters Imaz, which means to stand. We're gonna give the sister a courtesy salute. All right. Men of Israel, I'm out Shabbat. I'm out. Barak, Yahweh Shamar, now the Matah, class is finished.